Okay, sorry guys. I don't know what happened in the first video. First off, I panicked because it just ended in mid talking, and I thought that it got erased. And then I said I'm never doing this again, but I just went past the time limit. So hopefully you all saw the first one. If you didn't, and you see this one, at least you get like a little bit of information. So I left off with codominance and incomplete dominance. Don't mix them up. Incomplete is the tie. You get a blend. That's like the 4 o'clock flowers. Codominance is like the cattle. The brown and white will give you both. They both show. Okay. The next two, don't mix these up either. The other exceptions. The first exception was multiple alleles. This is talking about one gene that you're getting passed down. So it's two alleles, one from mom, one from dad. The only difference about this is that for each of those alleles, there's more than just two options. So far, we've talked about yellow and green, tall or short, round or wrinkled. Those are just two options. If there are more than two options for that one gene, that's called multiple alleles. The example we talked about is the rabbits. The rabbit's fur color. There are 4 different options for that one single gene. They could pass down gray, they could pass down black, they could pass down white, or they could pass down gray, whatever one I didn't say. Those are 4 options for just one single gene. But that one gene is just 2 letters. You get one from mom, one from dad. Okay? The other thing is like our skin color, polygenic. Polygenic means that it's not just one gene that's controlling what you look like. It's not one genotype making you have that phenotype. Instead, it's 4 or 3 or it could be 5 different genes from mom and 5 from dad that together the combination is what makes your skin color. You did that today when you're making the kids. For skin color, they had 3 genes. So you had to flip 3 times for mom, 3 times for dad, and the combination of all of those letters together is what gave you skin color or hair color. There was multiple ones that were like that where it was polygenic. I think that hopefully made you see what what polygenic means is that there's 3 maybe from mom and 3 from dad. You mix them all together. That gives you one physical trait or one phenotype. Okay. The other thing we talked about after that was what determines what you look like. In the summer, I don't really, but I get tanner. And in the summer, my hair lightens up. So even though I have a certain hair color and a certain skin color, those things can change. And that's because your environment influences what you look like. Your phenotype is determined by 2 things. Number 1, your genes, your DNA, whatever's passed down to you. And number 2, your environment. Your environment can affect how that phenotype is expressed. So yes, you have in your genes that you're supposed to be a certain skin color, but your environment now causes your body to produce more melanin, so you're a tanner. This is environment playing a toll. So example was the flowers. I told you certain flowers can, depending on the soil, if the soil is very acidic, they come out a little bit different color. The butterflies, Western butterflies, the winter, they're born dark because of the temperature and their genes. Note that too. It's not just the environment. The environment's not going to randomly cause them to come out pink or purple or green. They only have in their DNA to be dark like black or light like white. So it's 2 things always your genes plus your environment. So the temperature in the winter causes them to come out dark so that they can absorb sunlight. The temperature in the summer, they come out white so that they don't absorb sunlight. So it's not exposure to sunlight because they're not exposed to it yet. It's the temperature that's causing them to come out that way. So temperature, environment, genes, 2 things. Okay. CP, didn't talk about this, but honors, you should know that we talked about gene linkage, how you have this independent assortment idea that all of your traits are not linked together. But that guy was studying fruit flies and he noticed there was always short wings on fruit flies that had that certain eye color, the reddish color of their eyes. And it was always linked together. So the more we did research and the more we figured out, we actually have chromosomes. And so everything that's on the same chromosome is more likely to get passed down together. The only difference is that you have big chromosomes. So things are on the top and things are on the bottom might not get passed down with each other because of crossing over. I'll draw a chromosome for you. Got a chromosome here. If I put a trait up here and I have a trait down here, there is a chance that crossing over, this comes up with its homologous chromosome, swaps information. Now they're not together anymore. Now they're not getting passed down together. But if there's a trait right here, right next to it, more likely that it's not going to experience crossing over. They're going to get passed down together. So things like red-haired people, you usually figure out they have freckles. Those things are close together. They're linked together. So the closer they are, the more likely they're going to pass down together. Okay? If you have any questions, you can comment on these videos or ask me, send reminds. It's easy stuff. It is a long test. There are a lot of problems. Make sure you read the problems. I gave you a hint. If it asks you how many alleles do you yourself have per gene in your body cells, it's 2. The question asks you how many does a gamete have, only has 1. It's a sex cell. It only has 1. Do not get that question wrong tomorrow because I'm telling you it right now. But every year, there's 90% of the kids put the wrong answer. Don't get it wrong. Little t, just because a plant is little t, does its parents have to be short? No. They could both be tall, but they carry the little t's, so that's what they pass down. Don't make the mistakes. Read every question. Read it, then read it again before you answer, because half the time you miss keywords in there, and that's what makes you pick the wrong answer. Study, read the questions, reread the questions. Check over your work. Get an A. Go to bed early. Don't study at 11 o'clock. Goodbye.